AIO, my friend cheated at her bachelorette party. My 21F friend, 20F, is acting very odd. We went out for her bachelorette party on Thursday for a long weekend. Yesterday night was the main party, where we all went out with her in her little bride-to-be veil and sash. It was all going great, she was having a good time. The point was for all of us to have a good time together, but after a while, she disappeared for a good hour and I, along with another friend in the bridal party, went out looking for her. We couldn't find her, but she texted us back that she'd see us in the Airbnb we were staying at, and that she just wanted some time to herself, so we didn't push her. When she came back later, it was 3 a.m. and she was out of it. A little disheveled, which she could pass off as partying too hard, but I had a bad gut feeling. My first thought was, because she seemed closed off, that someone had done something bad to her, and I thought I should give her space, but if something bad had happened, I wanted to help, so I spoke to her in private, asked about it, and she said someone had hurt her. I immediately said we should go to the police, report it and all that, but she very vehemently denied it. I figured this was normal. I've heard of survivors not wanting to have reported it, and I didn't want to be too pushy since it had only been a couple of hours, so I let it be. She said she just wanted to sleep, so I left her to it and checked up on her every hour or so because I felt guilty. We had planned this trip for her, but something so terrible happened. Is what I thought, because now it's Sunday evening and at noon, she pulled me aside to talk again. I thought she changed her mind about reporting it and I was fully ready to help her, but then she told me it was consensual, that she just wanted to experience something different before being tied down, and that she lied because she panicked and didn't have the energy to explain when she came back. This was of course shocking and incredibly icky, because this girl 1, lied about being harmed, and 2, cheated on her fiance. She's been problematic since her wedding planning began, making unreasonable demands for bridesmaids' dresses and acting like a bridezilla, but this was a whole new low. I freaked out on her, told the other girls that while we were looking for her thinking something happened to her, she was out cheating on her gem of a fiance. This was perhaps not my place to make a scene, but I was just so done with her. I then told her she had to tell her fiancé what happened by the end of the week or we would, because his family is paying for the entire wedding that's in June, so I figure if they need to cancel and get what they can back, it needs to happen ASAP. She just said I was overreacting like a psycho and I'm just jealous of her getting married and want to ruin it for her. But I'm usually a zero tolerance for cheating person. AIO? Editing to add that I have updated. I really didn't want to wait after the responses I've gotten, and I didn't want to be involved in her life any further.
Relevant comments. Commenter 1. OMG, you are such a detective. Your curiosity killed you to get through the bottom of it to report. This was such a witch move to get her out and confess. Just stay away. I think you are a bad influence and the whole reason for this blunder. Commenter 2. You tell you fucking rat blow up someone else's life because you can. What a friend, mind your own business or do tea. I'm sure you won't, because you think you have to be the moral compass. Commenter 3. Threatening her with involuntary outing of her cheating? Right before her wedding? That's fucking low too. That's just a power trip on your part. I hate bridezillas as much as anyone, but get fucking real already. She slept with someone during her bachelorette party. She told you she wanted to try something crazy before being tied down. It's not everyone's idea of mature, but who made you the moral arbiter of her marriage? Disapprove if you want, and it's clear that you do if you're bringing up her bridesmaid dress decisions and shit. But you're not fooling anyone. Stop clutching your pearls. And don't plan bachelorette parties if you're gonna be all amazed that sometimes the cheating, that 65% of the bridal party will statistically engage in, eventually happen too publicly for your convenience.
Update. So guys, I had such an overwhelming response, but Sarub, Route 741 and Smooth Cauliflower, among an unfortunate number of others, thought I was oh so bad for being mad over my friend lying about SA and for being against infidelity. So I decided to expedite telling her fiancé. After reading the influx of comments justifying me telling him, I decided to email him with a draft I'd typed earlier when she told me about this, but didn't know if I should have sent, with everything I knew of what happened and was told, and asked him to check with the girls as well if he had doubts, with a link to this post. He hasn't responded yet, and I don't know what I'd say if he did because I'm not very close to him. I don't want to over-interfere and inject myself into his grieving process since my job is done. I've told him and I've cut her off. If they go on with the wedding, I've made it clear I'm no longer in the wedding party, and so have the 3 other bridesmaids, so she wouldn't have a wedding party if she moves forward. Appreciate the people who gave me genuine feedback and advice instead of outing themselves as terrible characters.
Relevant comment. Ancient_ad 7555. Good thing that internet cosigners and upvotes were enough for you to decide the trajectory of someone's relationship by undercutting their opportunity to confess on their own. I bet you have never made a bad decision in your life or done anything regrettable that you waited for the right time to discuss. So if they work through this, which I hope they do, you just lost a friend, maybe more than one depending on how close your circle is, and if you are friends with the future groom, you lost that too. All because you had to be a shiro.
Editing to add this gem of a comment I got. I'm willing to give anyone the attention and platform they want to have bad opinions. Make sure people don't have to scroll for it.
No_wedding_2152. Back the F off, honey, this is so not your business. My God. YTA. You should send this to AITH because you are.
I have so many speculations of backstories for this commenter. Old, bitter, and unmarried because? Or just against weddings? Weird either way. Update 2. So some people brought up a very valid point yesterday that my friend could have 1, been scared to have said she was harmed and chose the cheating route, and 2, if she was drunk, she couldn't have consented anyway. I took this, felt bad, and contacted her. I think her fiance left her or something to that effect. I haven't asked, but she, understandably, didn't want to talk to me. But her mother did call me. She was appalled that my friend cheated, and she said my friend spoke to both her mom and dad. Apparently, she chose her bachelorette spot because an old flame lives there and she planned on meeting him for a last time for closure or something. I only know this guy as her casual ex from high school, and I didn't know her then, so I didn't connect the two dots. But long story short, she planned on spending the night with him before she had to tie herself down and left the pub only 30 minutes into us being there, and I didn't see her drink more than a shot. It's definitely possible she drank more after she effed when she was with him, but I do feel like she was responsible for herself after leaving without telling people and switching off her phone while everyone was looking for her. What you do while drunk may not be your choice, but how drunk you get absolutely is your choice. But what I got was that this was planned days in advance, and her bachelorette weekend location was planned according to where this guy lives, so yeah. I'm mostly certain that no SA took place. Another thing people brought up was 1, how did I have the groom's email ID but not number, and 2, that I wanted him for myself. All wedding correspondence with vendors took place over email. I, as a bridesmaid who was helping coordinate, and the groom as the one literally getting married, were CC'd. I took his email from there. People also asked why I didn't CC everyone and put my friend on blast. As satisfying as that would have been, if I were in the groom's position, I wouldn't want myself finding out at the same as everyone else as part of an exposé. I felt that would be somewhat humiliating, so the goal was to let him know as the affected party and then let him decide how he wants to go about it. Because me and the other bridesmaids already know and have dropped out from the wedding, which I don't think is happening anymore from my friend's mom's words. And for me wanting the groom for myself, be so for real. You can do good things without wanting to jump someone's bones. It's called being a decent human being. I called him a gem of a fiance because he insisted his family cover all costs of the wedding because my friend's father is experiencing some hardship. You don't see that these days. I simply meant that he was doing an excellent thing out of love and want for my friend. Which is why I wanted to tell him even more so about this, because the wedding so far is in the £50,000 ballpark. For reference, the average wedding in the UK costs around 23k. This is over double. So yeah, that's it, I'm out of her life, so now I really don't have any reason to keep up with what's happening, so this is about the end of it.